day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and the caster forgets to do his intros. But that day is not today. When it comes to Paxes, you don't want the minimum, you want the MaxPax! Oh, this is a suspicious looking opening, and there's a probe out on the map. If you're facing something this intricate, you don't want generic, you want special! I am intrigued right out of the gate here. You build your pylon in the middle of your mineral line for speed, and you don't do it when you care about your late game macro. And there's the forge. MaxPax is gonna bust out the cannon rush. It's time to learn how they cannon rush in Denmark. It's gonna be low ground pylon style. You can bet that's gonna be planted just outside of Special's vision. Oh yeah, exactly 1 square out of his vision. MaxPax has brought his ruler. Special's going for a second Rax. If he knew what was coming, he probably would have wanted a factory instead. Forge is done, pylon completes. It's gonna be 2 cannons to start us off. Special does have a wall. MaxPax isn't gonna be able to get at the high ground at this point. 5 SCVs have been pulled to help. MaxPax gonna try to sneak in, but Special closes the door. Special seems to reconsider whether he wants to commit those SCVs. He pulls them back. And MaxPax puts down a gateway. This is the Neo Cannon Rush style. Protoss can proxy anything. Nothing going on back in MaxPax's base. Oh! Special's depot building SCV is going to be our first blood. Almost happened off screen there. Those depots are not going to last long, and those probes want to get up to the high ground. He needs a way to get himself vision. MaxPax plants a pylon on the high ground. That might fit the bill. Special is making a Reaper. He might be envisioning a counterattack here. That Marine's only got 5 hit points left. Even a probe could kill it. But the Marines can hit the pylon outside the range of the cannon. Second probe slips in, pylon completes, and MaxPax adds 3 more cannons. Does Special have the necessary firepower to shut them all down? If they complete, that could be game. Cancellation after cancellation. Special has to save his racks. It's heavily on fire. MaxPax cannot seem to get a high ground cannon. Just won't warp in fast enough for him. SCVs are gonna save the racks. Oh, MaxPax abandons his high ground position. Special is supply capped. The Reaper slips out to counter. A Zealot has been built. He looks like he wants to finish off the racks, but he changes his mind. MaxPax has realized that Reaper's disappeared. He's adding photon cannons to his own base. High ground pylon is gone. Protoss has lost high ground vision. He's trying another cannon. Special shuts it down. Another Zealot is on the way, as is a Cybercore. But Special is halfway done on his factory. A tank or even a Cyclone could be a game changer here. The Reaper's in the Protoss base, but the photon cannons are forcing him back. The Reaper's getting free shots on the Nexus, but Steve Rogers can do that all day. Special has the econ advantage. If he can just hold, he will have this game. He's teching up to a starport, and he's adding that tech lab for his factory. MaxPax is settling into a contain here. He's adding an adept and looking to control the ramp. Terran is not the most containable of races though, but 2 shield batteries will definitely help. Those probes are just kind of getting used to that Reaper continuously firing away. It's going to be a Cyclone out of that factory, and the double Marine production has not slowed. MaxPax snipes one and sends in a Shade to take a look. Special is researching Magfield Accelerator. I'm not sure what that's for. Oh, he's canceled it. Somehow he's stream sniping me from the future. Or maybe he's like just really good at this game. A bunker goes down for Terran. Everybody's getting entrenched. Oh, but MaxPax uses a Shade to get vision of it and shuts it down with his photon cannons. That was really cool. The Cyclone goes to work on those cannons. Though really, he's going to work on the shield batteries. MaxPax sneaks his troops in. He wants his cannons firing. Special has finished a medevac. He just loaded it up. 6 Marines. Unlike a lone Reaper, those guys can drop a Nexus. MaxPax goes for the mineral line, but that's going to get cleaned up. He saves his Adept though. That's his key to vision right now. Oh, MaxPax pulls most of his probes. Nope, the Reaper's gonna shut it down. Nobody gets out alive. Those Marines are coming. MaxPax's position is not looking so good anymore. He does have a Void Ray out, backed by at least 4 shield batteries. That's gonna be a handful for Special. There's a second Void Ray on the way as well. Special has a Viking. He's working on a second one. Oh, I hope the insurance on that Nexus is paid off. Special can't kill the Void Rays, but he can force them back. He's adding a second Cyclone. That's gonna make life tougher for the Void Rays. That Nexus is something that rhymes with a past tense of zoom. That Nexus is doomed! Oh yeah. There goes the Protoss economy. MaxPax did send an Adept back to try to save it, but it was too little too late. All Protoss has now is this super entrenched position. Special can't break it, but can Protoss do anything from here? MaxPax is supply blocked. He's also revealed. Even with less workers, Special has a way superior economy. Oh, I do believe MaxPax suddenly has a plan for his unemployed probes. He's bringing them over. These Void Rays are doing great work. But the Cyclone and Viking counts are just gonna keep rising on him. Maybe he's got enough shield batteries to keep them invincible in perpetuity? I think MaxPax is gonna take one last run at this with a probe rush. Oh yeah, he's trying to open a door so he can get inside. He has to kill his own shield battery to do it. Here they come! He's gonna pax it to the max. The probes are carrying gift boxes of Vespine gas, but the Terran doesn't care. Special has lost his Christmas spirit. He rejects the Protoss holiday greeting. MaxPax has stopped building. He's all micro now. So as soon as I say that, he makes a Phoenix. The Void Rays are too far afield from the shield batteries to go down. And it's GG. MaxPax surrenders. Special wins the game. And that's how you start a series with a bang. What a game one. But let's be honest here. If I start showing replay footage, we'll wind up watching the whole game again. It was that short. So instead, let's just get to game 2. Adjutant, if you would please.
Initiating repairs to caster's sensibility. The game begins now.
The only thing for certain is this won't be anything like game 1. We're gonna play this one out on one of my favorite maps, Death Aura. It has a slightly larger rush distance at 39 seconds. Our Protoss player looks to be setting up for the Reaper block position for his pylon. Standard ramp block for our Terran. No workers sneaking out on the map. Always a little ambivalent about the Reaper block position. It's handy early game to keep that Reaper out, but later in the game it gives Terran an extra spot to attack. If they get vision, they can reverse cliff the Protoss. Gateway goes down, as will the barracks, and it's time for intros. Our Protoss player is a young phenom. Zerg has Raynor. Terran has Clem. Protoss needs a young superstar to fulfill that role. Will it be MaxPax?
Maximum effort.
MaxPax began playing when he was 8 years of age, just like Raynor. As the church lady says, our Terran player is special!
Isn't that special?
Yes, it's the Mexican veteran versus the Danish up-and-comer. MaxPax started playing when he was only 8 years old. Protoss's probe is looking to harass the racks as it builds, but Special has allocated that second SCV for defense. Cyber core goes down, a Marine starts building at that racks. MaxPax puts a Nexus down at his natural. Special will not be far behind with a command center of his own. MaxPax's probe is going to get confirmation on that timing. One of Special's famous traits is he's able to study a specific opponent and devise a counter. His stats for his prepared matches are way higher than his unprepared matches. Here we're kind of in between. It's a group stage. So Special knows he's going up against MaxPax, but he also knows he's going up against 2 other opponents, so he has to split his training time. Oh, that SCV's really hanging around. He wants to see if he can see the tech choice for Protoss. But he's at risk of becoming a first blood that way. Special looks to be going for the 1-1-1 build. No sign of a decision for MaxPax. The scout is headed for dodge. The adept is out. A second one starts immediately behind it. Shades of an adept timing. See what I did there? Never mind, we've had a Stargate go down. MaxPax's Nexus is about to complete. Special is reactoring out Marines. Until I started playing StarCraft 2, I didn't know reactor was a verb. Single adept headed across the map. Looking for an early scouting opportunity or the chance to pick off an SCV. But there's a lot of Marines out there. Or there will be by the time he gets there. Special's depots are in the down position. It almost never happens, but sometimes that shade sneaks up there. Ooh, nice hit there. Marines do have the light property, so adepts do that extra damage. Special with the depot raise. And then like most Terran players, he immediately lowers it. That always seems like so much work to me. If you know the adepts out there, just keep them up. But these pros are all about their maximum efficiency. That adept is not giving up. The Marine count keeps rising. Special's up to 7 now. And he's adding a Cyclone to go with his starport, which is finishing up. It's an Oracle for MaxPax coming out of that Stargate. The rally point tells us that Oracle's looking to do some diving. MaxPax has a second adept, but he's kept it back at home to guard his front door. Oracle away. The Cyclone is a good pick for Special. It'll give him some quality air defense, and it's got a lot of other utility as well. Oh, he might be looking to push out, but the Adept is still out there. I think Special thinks the Adept's gone home. That's a mistake. Oh, he's bringing SCVs, and they're going to spot the Adept. Special realizes his mistake. He comes back to deal with the Adept. He's got the surround, but the shade's almost done. No, he gets the kill, and that's a first blood. But the real story is Special's pushing out while the Oracle dive is taking place. There's no real defense until that second Cyclone gets here. It's Oracle heaven for the next few seconds. An SCV buffet. Meanwhile, Special's attack has begun. They're gonna take on that door guard. MaxPax has a Void Ray coming. Cyclone's gonna chase out that Oracle. Ooh, it survives! MaxPax is adding a shield battery. The Void Ray plus the additional Zealots are enough to chase Special back. Terran does not have enough to punch through those shield batteries. MaxPax actually cancels the second one as soon as Special pulls back. A Viking instead of a Medevac has come out of that starport. Special's worried about that Oracle. It's camped out by his future third base location. A bit of a stalemate at the Protoss base. Terran will get owned if he tries to push in, but as soon as MaxPax leaves his shield batteries, his units can get picked off. Oh, the Viking's gonna give high ground vision. That pylon's pretty important. MaxPax doesn't want to lose it. It forces him to come out. Protoss is gonna warp in additional Zealots to deal with this attack. Meanwhile, MaxPax has a robotics bay on the way. That's gonna give him the potential for Colossi to help deal with those Marines. Special is not actually building Marines anymore. He's focusing on his Cyclone count and picking up the mag field accelerator upgrade. Void Rays have the armored property. They will melt to Cyclones with that upgrade. It also applies to the Immortal who just popped out of that robo facility. Special's gonna try to sneak a scout in here. Is he gonna see the robotic support bay? Void Ray goes after the Viking, so does the Phoenix. It's gonna be close, they bring it down. Did he see it? Did he see it? I don't think he saw it. Quick check on that, he did not. He was one square away from getting an important scout. MaxPax has started his third. Special wants to try to shut it down. He doesn't have his Cyclone upgrade yet. MaxPax starts up a Colossus. MaxPax might be getting faked out here. Special's not going for stamina. I guess MaxPax doesn't really care if he gets faked out if he crushes Special army. Magfield is done, but so is Special's offensive. It's official. Special is going mech. It's time for a little bit of macaroni and cheese. The cheese being the leftover Marines, I guess. MaxPax is going Phoenix Colossus. I don't love his composition anymore, but I do love his worker lead. And he's going to be the first to 3 bases. He adds the Twilight Council. I'm sure he'd love to put some speed on his Zealots. He's also going for double Forge. Special adds an Armory and an eBay. And he's going to land his third. But he needs to get that saturated if he's going to keep up. Special is sticking with his Cyclones. If he knew about the Colossi, he'd probably be wishing he had a tank. Oh, MaxPax is going to try to push out now. He's really done a great job of keeping his original Void Rays alive. MaxPax is sneaking down the right-hand side. Special's defense is set up on the other side. His newly minted third base could get bushwhacked here. Special spots the observer and drops a scan. That's gonna save him. He sees the Protoss attack just moments before it comes. MaxPax is gonna pull the trigger anyway. The Phoenix need the lifts on the Cyclones. They get them. That's gonna let the Void Rays run free. There's just Marines left, really, and the Colossus is gonna be able to deal with those. The Widow Mines are too far back. He needs to draw MaxPax in. But MaxPax is contenting himself with annihilating the third base. Hard to know if it's lucky or great decision making. Now the Protoss force charges in. The Widow Mines heavily damage the Zealots. But at this point, there's not a lot of Terran army left. Is Special getting overrun? Is this over already? Protoss is at the natural. There are mines at the top of the ramp. One of those Void Rays is deep in the red. Maybe Special can somehow clean this up. MaxPax decides to turn his attention on the SCVs at the natural. And just like that, the kill count on the SCVs crosses over 20. Protoss force fields the ramp, locking Terran inside. But nobody locks up a Viking. They can hang back under the cover of the Marines and do some damage. The last Void Ray is down. MaxPax with the recall. Can Special get the Colossus? No, the Colossus survives and says, "Hello, shield battery." It's plus 17 workers for Protoss. Special re-lands his third base. He starts the mules. He's getting badly out-resourced at the moment. It's hard to rebuild your economy and your army at the same time. MaxPax drops 7 gates. He's powering. He's upgrading. And he's expanding. Moneybags MaxPax is gonna get himself way ahead. Special's gonna have to pull a rabbit out of the hat to get back in this. He's adding a medevac. And since he's got almost no bio left to speak of, I think he's trying for a drop. A warp prism for MaxPax. I'm thinking he plans on using those 10 gates of his. 4 Widow Mines stand ready for pickup. A Widow Mine drop could be Special's equalizer, but he's gonna need to score big with this. Because MaxPax is coming already. He's taken the same route as last time. He's guessing Special's gonna rebuild his third in the same location. He sees the medevac! Special picks the wrong route. His gambit is found out. Terran's making siege tanks this time. He knows he needs to set up a defense. They can beat back the Colossi, but the Zealot leg upgrade is ready. MaxPax is even adding a Dark Shrine. He's sneaking a Warp Prism into Special's main. I don't think the DTs will be ready for that yet. He drops Zealots in. Special cannot let that thing get a warp in. 4 more Zealots coming in at his production. Special with the clutch shutdown, but is it enough? His tanks are set behind the mines, but the Zealots don't care. Special's forced to lift off his third yet again. The Vikings have been essential for Special, but the Phoenix have them outnumbered. Special's got 3 tanks on the way, if he can try to hold on for that. Because I don't see what these poor Hellions are going to do. The Colossi are doing damage. But now they're pulling back. Parting shot for that Widow Mine. MaxPax lost his only observer and he felt the effect of that. But he's not rebuilding it. His priority is another Warp Prism. Special grabs his 2 surviving Widow Mines. He's going to try for that drop again. This time though, he'll take the left-hand side. MaxPax is coming again. 5 Phoenix, 11 Zealots. Rupture in there. Oh, and just as Special tries to land his command center once again. Special needs the best drop of all time. The Phoenix are just gonna cut down the Vikings. To Special's credit, he somehow got equal on army size. I'm not sure how he did that when he was so badly outmined. Special has to evacuate his third base again. 4 probe kills off that first mine. MaxPax has redundant probes to spare though. Oh, and the photon cannon gets the second mine. Can Special hold one more time? He sends his SCVs to scream for his army. They get obliterated. MaxPax with the warp into 6 more Zealots. And Special hits the GG key. For a second, Special almost made a game out of that. But kinda only for a second. Bad luck for Special that the Oracle slipped in right as he was pushing out. He intended to have a Cyclone to cover, but there was that gap period, and MaxPax capitalized. Special could have evened it up with his attack, but MaxPax had the shield batteries ready, and he was able to hold it off until he could get his Void Rays in place. A slight edge for MaxPax, and then it steamrolls when he hits that third base location. It might have looked like he got lucky hitting exactly where Special's defense was not, but MaxPax actually did have an observer in place to see that. Poor Special, he did find that observer and chase it out, but again, just a little bit too late. All those edges added up and MaxPax took the game. And just like that, it's a best of 3 series. Adjutant, if you would, please.
Accessing best of 3 intensity. The game begins now.
MaxPax tries to cheese Special. He fails. He plays him straight in Game 2. He succeeds. What will Game 3 bring us? A low ground pylon to start, apparently. Let me tell you, as a young lad, I watched a lot of television. Evenings, weekends, you name it. But my favorite was always the After School Special!
Current world rank 35.
Next of all, and just FYI, the upper limit of wolves in a single social unit is known as a MaxPax!
Current world rank 25.
I actually would have guessed these numbers would have been the other way around. I mean, Special's been way higher historically. But clearly MaxPax is on the rise. It wasn't that long ago he was some new kid with a freaky new build. Suddenly, Special is the underdog. Just like Game 2, he's assigned that extra SCV to deal with the probe harass. And as we've seen, Special doesn't go Reaper in this matchup. A Marine is the first thing he brings out of his racks. Gateway's about to finish, both our players are queuing the minerals to expand. The SCV building Special's racks has taken some damage, but it doesn't look like he'll be stopped from completing. The first production building from Ire arrives, and it's a core first. MaxPax is going to prioritize his tech just a fraction over his economy. That Marine is already in production. There goes the Nexus, the Sapphire Void from beyond an endless galaxy. MaxPax is trying to delay Special's natural. He's out of shields though, and there is a Marine on the way. Oh, he's here, and that's a first blood. Special's minerals made it up to 445, so there was a microscopic delay on that command center. Was that probe's life worth it? Not if you're the one who has to tell his parents. Core completes and a chrono-boosted adept starts. No tech choice for Protoss again. Special still has his SCV poking around. MaxPax has been comfortable delaying that. Special starts a reactor. He once again prioritizes that over a factory, which follows immediately thereafter. Reactored Marines on the way, still no tech choice for Protoss. MaxPax's adept is out on the map. Special knows it. He's going for a bunker in front of his natural. The adept is not stopping to smell the flowers. Something you can do on the map Romanticize. It's a map that's extra heavy on the sight blockers. Just like in Game 2, that adept is going to meet a lot of Marines. Opening shade, heads for the natural, and then corrects for the main. Special gets his depots up. The bunker is about to complete. Oh, MaxPax has his Stargate starting up back at home. Nice try, but nobody's letting the spectral Avon lady in today. Maybe if there was a 50% off sale, but otherwise no way. There's that Stargate. MaxPax might be tempted to go for the SCVs at the natural, but it would be a one-way trip. Oh, Special has made a delayed Reaper. It's gonna sneak out of the Terran base. I like the way Special mixes up the timings. Oh, it's an Oracle being made out of that Stargate. She is not getting up that ramp. If at first you don't succeed, shade again. MaxPax starts up his third. He's looking to get that early economic lead. Warp gate's about to complete. The Reaper has almost made it to the Protoss base. He's looking to sneak in around the side. He's going to get the scout on the timing of that third, but he's not going to find any probes there. Oh, Special's Marines are getting a little tired of that adept. Did they overextend though? They need to get back to guard that shade. Reaper slips into the main. The Oracle spots it. Special's going to be able to bring down that adept. There's no kills on it. No kills for that Reaper either. both sides sacrificing their harassment units. But Special did flush out that Oracle. He forced it to come back to defend. Oh, 2 more gates on the way, as well as a second Oracle. Special with a Banshee and Cloak. Both sides investing in the aerial harass. We definitely seen Special cancel his Cloak before, though. It's a ruse he pulls all the time. But he's also really good with the Cloak Banshee, so he may want it here. Oh, nice pickup. Oracle gets the SCV building that 3rd command center and does get the Scout on the Cloak. A very successful trip. Oh, look at this. Cloak is gone, and now there's a Raven, but the Banshee did come out. Oracle's circling back for a second pass. The main is currently Marine free. Special's got his first Cyclone out, but it's in the wrong spot. The Banshee can't do anything more than take notes. Ah, here comes that Cyclone. Note that Special's actually restarted the Cloak again. Oh, there's the recall. Oh, it got away! I don't know if you caught that, but Special restarted the Cloak for the Oracle and then canceled it for the 2nd time. A Void Ray is out for MaxPax, and now he starts a Phoenix. It's the complete triumvirate for basic Protoss Air. He's also started the Zealot leg upgrade at his Twilight Council. Double Oracles. Out on the map, Special's Raven is ready to go. Special's sent out a Marine to scout out a safe path for his Banshee. It gets splatted by the Void Ray. But better a 50 mineral Marine than his Banshee. He changes his attack route. Oh, the Oracles are gonna get another SCV building that command center. Oh, no, it did manage to complete. It's turning into an orbital. Those Oracles look so smug. Don't you just want to blow them out of the sky? MaxPax is ready for his Gateway Explosion already. This is gonna take him up to 8. But that's a double forge warping in on the right-hand side there. Oh, MaxPax's Air Force is making the world very complicated for a lone Banshee. Special's trying to find a way in to get value for his purchase. MaxPax is stashing a pylon. That gives him vision for an early warning against harass, and he can also use it to warp in Zealots later. Or anything he wants, I suppose, but it's almost always Zealots. Special has threaded the needle and made it to the natural. His patience kinda pays off, except that he's immediately picked up by a Phoenix. That Banshee pilot suddenly wishes Special didn't cancel that Cloak twice. And in other news, Special's gonna fully commit to that bio build. He's got Stim, combat shields, and +1 attack coming all at the same time. MaxPax's gonna start his double +1 upgrades. Oh, another stashing / vision pylon at the bottom of the map for MaxPax. Special's 3rd has just gone live. MaxPax could be eyeing an opportunity for an attack. Meanwhile, back at the Protoss Ranch, MaxPax starts up a Battle Duck, aka Templar Archive. Archons online. Special repels the Protoss air raid, and MaxPax responds by taking a 4th base. MaxPax has an 11-worker lead, but the supplies are relatively even. Combat shields finishes, and Special starts up concussive shells. He also sends another poor Marine on a suicide scouting mission. Sorry dude, Comstat is reserved for emergencies. MaxPax's Oracle performs a revelation and gains vision over the Terran army for 20 seconds. Special's adding to his Marauder count, and Widow Mines. Meanwhile, MaxPax starts up a Zealot hit squad. Hold that thought, his Air Force is flying into a mine here. Oh, he pulls back at the last second. I don't think he saw that, I think he just got lucky. Speaking of mines, Special's preparing a Widow Mine drop. And he's pushing out with his main force. This game just picked up in a big way. MaxPax's Phoenix try to snipe a medevac. They don't get it. There looks like 3 simultaneous hit locations right now. Widow Mine drop is first. Mine drop at the 3rd. There's a photon cannon warping in. There's a probe pull. Mine hits single probe only. Terran's main force pushes the 4th. MaxPax has the flank. He hits from 2 directions. Special pulls back to kite. The Zealots are on him. And the Phoenix grab the mines. They separate. Both sides equal on army sides. MaxPax mops up that last mine, but what about the one in his main? Oh! 14 probe kills! That is some kind of a record. And the medevac gets to live and gloat. There is no defense in the main. Suddenly enjoying the economic lead, Special decides to return for another attack. He drops a scan. He likes what he sees. His medevacs have healed up his force. MaxPax had to pull back his Air Force to deal with the mine. Oh, a second scan and Special thinks twice. He's pulling back after all. Which means MaxPax's Zealot hit squad's gonna make their move. There's no defense at the Terran 3rd. Those Zealots are looking to get some revenge worker kills. And to make sure Special's good and distracted, MaxPax attacks his main army. Special stims and kites like a boss. He's stutter stepping back. Who's got this? MaxPax pulls back. And that lets Special focus on chasing away those Zealots. This game is kicked into overdrive, people. MaxPax has chrono-boosted probes 4 at a time. He's got his worker lead back. That's crazy. He just re-droned like a Zerg. And he's getting his +2/+2 at the same time. And he's gonna up his splash game by getting a Robo Bay. Special's gonna get himself a much-needed 4th base. There's that Robo. Oh, MaxPax isn't gonna let Special have that 4th. He's on it the instant it lands. Here comes Special's force to try to chase him away. This is a big battle. Special's forced a long-distance mine while this goes on. But it's over as quickly as it's begun. But Special is the victor. He claims this expansion for Spain, or Mexico as the case may be. And his medevac loads up with 2 more mines. Who can blame him for wanting to try another Widow Mine drop? The Phoenix, though, are on patrol. And that pylon's warping in 10 Neblots at a time. That is a huge harassment force. Oh, but Special has put a Widow Mine there. The Zealots are gonna run right over it. Oh! The shields evaporate on 4 of the Zealots, but they will get into the mineral line. Special has to pull back to try to save it. Special did park some guards there, but not enough to deal with 10 Zealots. There's a full pullback here. Can MaxPax capitalize? Special's turning his 4th into a fortress. That is a much-needed development. MaxPax is not going to tolerate another Widow Mine drop. He lifts the first mine and kills the medevac before the second one can even drop. But it does give Special time to cover his 4th base and even push out further. MaxPax is actually thinking about expanding to a 5th, but Special's right there to shut it down. The Phoenix are going to try a flyby, but there's just too much anti-air. Though he does force out a stim on the second half of Special's army. And by the time Special rushes the 3rd, the Archons and the rest of the main army are there. They are also joined by a shiny new Colossus. MaxPax has not yet started extended thermal lance though. Special sees it and immediately starts up his Vikings. He has not made any. He made himself a Ghost Academy. And he's adding in his first few Ghosts. But until he has Vikings, his bio-army's quite vulnerable to those Colossi. I say Colossi plural because MaxPax is adding a bunch more. Special's adding enhanced shockwaves. That is so deadly against the Protoss. It gives the Ghost CMP that bigger splash. MaxPax is adding a Warp Prism. That's a very significant development for a Protoss player with 10 warp gates. Special tries to get up a sensor tower. Oh, look who's evolving like the board. MaxPax sends out a single Zealot to draw out that mine. And this time his Zealot force is much fresher. But they get hung up on the supply depots, which is going to give Special time to pull back and deal with them. MaxPax is going to use that as his cue to hit the 4th. Special shows the love and hugs his fortress. It is deep in the orange. Can he hold it? The cavalry is here. Love conquers all. The fortress survives with a repair hug. That was sensational. There was a huge amount of DPS on that fortress. Huge. And Protoss is going to try again. He needs another hug. Special stims everything and charges in. MaxPax sees the EMPs and pulls back. His Warp Prism reinforces his main force with fresh Zealots. And the Vikings are here. Special's building them 4 at a time and using his Comstat to increase their range. And so MaxPax decides to one-up him and starts building disruptors. Range is just a huge piece of the TVP late game. And if you saw my MaxPax versus Rogue game, you've seen that MaxPax has pretty good disruptor control. Unable to kill Special's force, MaxPax is eyeing to take another base of his own. Protoss hits 199 supply. You might say the Pax is maxed. But so is Special. It's time to find out who's got the better composition and control. This Warp Prism wants to sneak in for a warp in. But the main is well protected by missile turrets. We have a major clash. EMPs obliterate the lead Archons. The disruptor shots are killing Archons. Special is gaining ground. This will be a high-tech slugfest from here on out. Special's adding in more bio. MaxPax uses his freed up supply to try to send in some zealots. The depots are down and they slide right into the mineral line. There's a marauder in a bunker. He holds off the zealot horde long enough for Special's force to arrive. I love how the Vikings fly over to offer helpful advice to the ground forces below. Special tries his own bio-hit squad. They're just kind of running for their lives at this point. He's gonna get vision of the rising disruptor count. MaxPax has had his 3-3 upgrades for a while. Special's got 3-2. And Terran's gonna try to push out again. For him, it's all about the EMPs. MaxPax sends a zealot out in front to bait them out, but Special has even more. MaxPax can fire disruptor shots like a Gatling gun now. Special has to dodge them or he will get depopulated. Oh, his army size just falls. Oh, this was significant. MaxPax just took a lead here. How fast can Special replenish that bio? His miracle fortress is about to be under assault yet again. Oh, Special catches the disruptors trapped around the corner. He's able to use the choke to great effect. Terran is dodging the purification novas. Special could be back in this. There's no more Colossi in that army, and there's not a lot of Archons either. It's all about the disruptor shots then. They're pretty big. Oh! A perfect hit for MaxPax. But the Archons are gone. It's only Stalkers and Disruptors. They do not want to face Stim Marauders with concussive shells. Special's doing bonus damage against everything MaxPax has. Protoss tries to hide his Disruptors by stashing him in the corner, but they get hunted down. I know it looks like MaxPax is decimated, but Special's army is getting pretty small. Oh, a lone Widowmine doing his job. There are brush fires everywhere. Special looking to clean up the zealots in his base. That Widowmine's on cooldown. I think they're gonna get away. This game has been pretty crazy, but it's 5 bases to 4. 6 to 4 if you count the unsaturated one at the top. And so all this even trading is gonna fall in MaxPax's favor. Special needs to expand or get a big win. He's gonna try to shut down Protoss' 6. His EMPs go down on the disruptors. Who's got this? Looks like Special's having second thoughts. He's got to dodge the blast. Ooh, a ghost death animation. Special's down to his last 2 ghosts. Both sides are done running. They're gonna fight this out. Can the purification beams be the deciding factor? Special's army has broken. He wants his reinforcements. MaxPax's observers have speed. They are revealing the ghosts. Special is down to his last one. Retreating to his fortress would be a terrific move. With what he's got left, MaxPax has to think twice about attacking that. Both players have decimated armies. MaxPax is gonna try. He blinks on the fortress. Here comes repair hug number 3. Special is able to save it. That 4th base is the core of Special's economy right now. And speaking of economies, look who can afford a 10 zealot warp in. Disruptor kill on the Marauder. Special doesn't have too many of those left either. But boy, are they effective against MaxPax's composition. He's got them on the run again. The Stalker escort is almost gone. It's like Bio versus pure Disruptor. Special has an opportunity to reset the Protoss splash. Here comes a 12 zealot warp in. How demoralizing. He just saw that MaxPax can warp in an army bigger than his. And the 10 zealots from earlier are below to cut them off. Special has to lift off with what's left of his army, and then he GG's. That was a pretty wild one too. I'm liking this series. Unfortunately, it could be over soon. Special is now on the ropes. First things first, we gotta show you that insane Widowmine hit properly. 14 kills, that is a big one. First off, in fairness to MaxPax, remember that there's a huge battle going on right now in the center of the map. He can't spare a lot of attention here. So MaxPax does what many of us have tried to disastrous results. He attacks the mine with his probes. This of course packs him up like crazy. And it almost works. He gets that mine down to 15 hit points and then he bails. Or rather, the mine finishes burrowing and he's got no detection. He's got an insane number of probes clicked on a single patch. And it's a really big kablooey. So there it is. 14 kills off of 1 shot. And as long as I'm showing minutia, I've never had a chance to show a ghost getting blown apart by a disruptor hit in high definition. I mean, he's no Hydra, but it's still pretty cool. I mean, let's give him a 6.5. He gets some pretty good air. And I love the detail as his gear gets thrown across the battlefield. Okay, enough with my personality defects. Let's just get to the next game, because I'm pretty stoked to see what's going to happen. Let me just say this, though. We were 32 kills short of a Crimson Zone game in this one. Almost all of it in the last couple minutes. That gives you an idea what a bloodbath this thing turned into. Cool beans. Adjutant, if you would please.
Preparing for elimination game drama. The game begins now.
Special cannot seem to handle the packs when it's maxed. What adjustment can he bring for Game 4? Perhaps he has something special, no pun intended, for the map Oxide. Our Terran's past IDs include Windy, Kitty, Princess, and of course Major. But today we know and love him as Special! I've always loved Special because he's a veteran who's been around for a long time and he was always on the outside looking in, but he stuck with it, kept at it, and eventually made his way all the way up to that upper echelon. His Protoss opponent has had a very different trajectory. Largely unheard of, he suddenly exploded onto the Starcraft scene. He is MaxPax! You know you're a pretty big deal when you have a build named after you. Because you invented it, perfected it, and then it got picked up by the likes of Parting. Just as in the previous two games, MaxPax tries to harass the SCV building that Brax. This time Special's actually dedicated 2 SCVs to going after it. That lets him burn the shields off that probe even quicker. MaxPax has gone back to the Reaper block position for his gateway. Special's Rax is going to finish up, and we'll see if he opens up with a Marine once again. Cybercore down for Protoss. It is a Marine. That initial Marine killed the scouting probe last game. We'll see if MaxPax sticks around as long. No, he's evolved. He's getting out of there. That's going to let Special get down his command center. No delay this time. MaxPax already has his Nexus started. Just a sliver ahead. Oh, that probe did come back in. Is that going to cost him his life? He's going to get away. You little rascal. He snuck back in and confirmed the CC. Now he can rest easier knowing there's no one-base shenanigans. Cybercore completes. We have the chrono-boosted Adept in Warp Gates once again. No tech choice. Special's SCV rolls up into the main. He can't even find a pylon. He's like, come on, dude. I know you're making a Stargate. Where is the Stargate? But there is nothing for him to see, and that Adept is going to be out momentarily. Meanwhile, this game Special goes factory first and then the reactor. And he has made a much earlier Reaper. He really doesn't want to be taken surprised by MaxPax's tech choice. The Adept goes out on the map. She won't be available to stop that Reaper. MaxPax is, though, making a second one. But until it's here, the Reaper is king. He sees an injured probe and goes right at it. He's going to get it. That's the first blood. The rest of the probes are going to fight back. Special's going to kite them. The probes retreat. They're going to let Adept number 2 take over the fighting. That Reaper is down into deep red. The Adept fires off his shade and looks to corner the Reaper. The Reaper dies. Meanwhile, Adept number 1 is in the Terran Natural. She scratches the paint on that command center as it transforms into an orbital. And the Adept does delay Special from maynarding any of his SCVs over to his Natural. MaxPax shades out of there. He knows the Marine count is climbing steadily. Meanwhile, his Stargate is finally here and he started an Oracle. Special's dead Reaper did see that Stargate coming in. MaxPax is united his 2 Adepts. That's going to let him play multi-pronged harass with his Oracle. Special's almost done his Starport. And he's getting that Cyclone. That is so useful for chasing out Oracles. MaxPax's Adept team is now up to 3. The first 2 try out a test shade. The bunker's actually empty. He might try to overpower the Marine count, because I know he's not getting up that ramp. Oh, these Terran players always have to be so dramatic and raise it at the last second. The Oracle slips into the main, but the Cyclone is here. There's the zone out. It locks on and rips the shields right off of it. A very successful defense by Special. He's got to be happy with that. And here's a switch from the previous games. Special is trying a Liberator. MaxPax is finishing up his Robo, and he's going to switch over to Phoenix. These players are so on right now. Their mineral counts can't seem to climb higher than 50. MaxPax is adding to his Phoenix count. He knows how much Special loves to harass with drops. It's going to give him great defense, and in this case, it could be very useful against that Liberator. Witch is going to get spotted by an Adept Shade. If MaxPax was looking, he would have seen that Liberator headed east. And if he did, he would be wrong because Special is redirected it west. Twin Phoenix are streaking out. They want an intercept. We've got some early mind games happening here. It warms the cockles of my heart. That is, if I have cockles. I have yet to confirm those cockles. I repeat, cockles unconfirmed. What we can confirm is Special's bio commitment. Stim and +1 have started up. MaxPax is starting the Robo Bay. He's been using that for Colossi to really pressure the Marines. Oracle's gonna try to sneak back in. Is the Cyclone on it? He gets a useful tag over the production buildings, but no SCV kills. But he does escape with his life once again, and that certainly has value. Special's Liberator sneaks past the Protoss' newly minted 3rd. There are 4 Phoenixes out on the map, but they're not looking for the Liberator anymore. They're planning an attack run of their own. Special sees them, and he's got a defense force at the ready, at his natural. There's the chase away. I would have thought that Liberator would have thought this was his window to attack. The Phoenixes are far, far away. Robo Bay completes. It's not even 6 minutes yet. Combat shields and double medevacs. This is classic Special bio. The Liberator's gonna scout that Robo Bay. He's gonna go for the natural. It's gonna be a Nexus recall. MaxPax is bringing back his Phoenix. That's so clutch. That is a great way to defend against that Liberator. Look how quickly it dies. Now, it did get 3 kills and a scout, so it wasn't a total waste. And Special will use the distraction to try a push. A scan reveals the stasis ward, but he doesn't get the kill on it. He sends in a lone Marine to trigger it, but the trap catches his Cyclone. He didn't want that. But look what the addition of that single tank is doing for him. Or at least it was until the Phoenixes got here with their lifts. He gets the Widow Mine, that's important. And his battery overcharge is keeping his units on the field. And the first Colossus has arrived. The bio pulls back to the tank. The siege tank has superior range, or at least it did until it got lifted. The tank is anchoring this attack. If he loses that, it's over. Special has cut down the Phoenix count, but this push has been blunted. Is Protoss going to counter? He's looking to snipe a medevac. Special's running up his reinforcements for the save. He saves one. MaxPax does get the kill on the other. You just can't let Terran get that critical mass of medevacs where all of a sudden their Marines are immortal. With the attack over, everyone starts powering and teching. Special's adding 2 more Raxes and concussive shells. MaxPax adds a Twilight Council and double forges. Special starts his 3rd. MaxPax's 3rd is already well saturated. You can really see the effect that adding in that single tank had for Special. Last game, MaxPax put off the extended thermal lance. This game, he knows he has to have it, and he starts it immediately. Special's not actually making any more tanks, though. His plan for dealing with Colossi is going to be Vikings once again. Terran's going to try for another poke at that 3rd. The defense is set, though. Special hopes to get his Widow Mine down this time. He does, and MaxPax's Observer is out of position. Or to be more accurate, it's following Special's army. And that means MaxPax has to pull back to avoid getting splatted. Special checks to see if there's any work to be done at the alternate 3rd base location, but he finds it rather target poor. That gives MaxPax a little bit of time to get in an intercept position. Special wants to burrow his last Widow Mine before the Phoenix can grab it again. He does, and our combatants separate. It's shaping up to be a razor-close game right now. Identical on supply, so close on worker counts. Neither player getting significant damage done. Oh, until now! MaxPax forgot about that Widow Mine and it kills a Phoenix. Special does not have an armory yet though, so that mine is visible on cooldown. That lets the Phoenix get their revenge. Special is going to work on that armory. Oh, and we just saw him avoid getting supply cap. Nicely played. He's also getting out ghosts. Those have been pivotal for him in the previous games. Just not pivotal enough. MaxPax is getting his battle duck. and it's accompanied by a gateway explosion. He's going up to 8 gates, and he's going to take his 4th. That's a very exposed location. Special's already been poking at it, and he looks to do so again. Wow, that didn't take long. The Phoenix are here to defend, but there's a lot of Marines to push him away. They get the cancel. It's significant because Special is pulling in more minerals right now. He hasn't enjoyed an economic lead for much of this series. This bodes well for him. And with 6 Vikings at the ready, he can zone out those Phoenix. Just not the Stalkers that MaxPax has guarding his main. The Colossi count is up to 3, and he's starting to add the Archons. Zealot leg upgrade is about to complete. Ooh, that's a nasty little spot for a Widow Mine. An Observer will pick it up, and that's going to let MaxPax deal with it. No sense sending the entire army. Just to be safe, he'll just send a couple Zealots. Cause look at this, it's a trap. The Widow Mine was the bait. Special even drops a scan to get the Observer. That was just a great sequence by the Terran player. And what makes it best of all is he's getting his own 4th down while he's delaying the Protoss 4th. And he's picking up the enhanced shockwave upgrade. That's going to increase the radius of those EMP shots by 50%. So critical against Protoss late game. And speaking of upgrades, our players are tied on the numeric upgrades with 1-1 apiece. MaxPax has had enough of the constant defending. He means to attack. And he just got a good position. Special's down the ramp, not where he wants to be on his own side of the map. He's hoping for a pincer maneuver though. There's nowhere to hide your Colossi when you're getting hit from both sides. Wow, that Colossi's got like 0 hit points, but it's still alive. Well, by 0 I mean 15, but that's pretty much nothing at this phase of the game. EMP rounds softening up those Zealots and taking away the lift energy on those Phoenix. What Phoenix? They're all gone. That means there's no air cover for the Colossi. The Vikings are going to have a field day. They just need an angle to get around the Stalkers. Oh, and I think Special's going to go around the mulberry bush and create his angle. Oh, Special putting on a Terran masterclass in cunning. Other than his Vikings, Terran's got no army, but he's just punishing the Protoss. Special runs back to his bunker and loads it. MaxPax senses he's got a window. He goes after the 3rd. The Vikings land. They don't have a lot of firepower, but backed by SCVs, they're not too shabby. Now that the Colossi are dead, Special's really got supply tied up in those Vikings. We've seen this before. MaxPax is not rebuilding his Colossi. Now that the skies are unsafe, he's moving to disruptors. And we've seen just how good he can be with those. Special's like, these aren't Vikings. These are extra Marines with a strange sense of fashion. The Vikings are the MVPs right now. They have to do everything while Special rebuilds his bio. And that, apparently, includes a single Reaper. You don't see that too often at the 12-minute mark. MaxPax forces the lift off at the 3rd. Special doesn't have any ghosts anymore, and so those Archons are looking a little bit scary. But the Vikings are the new attack force. They're going after the 4th. I often forget that Vikings do bonus damage against mechanical types, but also Stalker, Immortal, Sentry, but definitely not Archon, so they best be getting out of there. Oh, are the Vikings eyeing the main? I've been wanting them to go after that for some time now. MaxPax is going to rebuild at his 4th. He's going to drop a shiny new Nexus. What's this? Now the Vikings are going to take on the main army, having done everything else? The Zealots stop in their tracks. Those aren't Vikings. Those are Sky Gods. Do not mess with the Sky Gods, lest they land. Wow, both sides really have beaten down armies at this point. Oh, surprise warp in at the main. The Zealots try to go for those high-value ghosts, but they are denied. Special will replant his 3rd base. And we've officially reached that phase of the game where the micro becomes so fun to watch. We know MaxPax can aim his disruptor shots with great skill. Can Special match that skill with his dodging? We've seen how some of the top Terran are able to dodge the disruptor blast by picking up their bio and their medevacs at the last second. We haven't seen that out of Special. Dare I be so bold, maybe that's an area he could even raise his game. MaxPax is going to hit the 4th right as it turns into a fortress. It's hugging time. Oh, this time the Zealots are able to deny the SCVs the surface area. The SCVs have got to show the love. Ah! Maybe love isn't all you need. Maybe it really needs stim pack. Special with another pincer maneuver. MaxPax with the recall. He blows up Special's fourth and then escapes. And as a result, he's captured the economic lead. He's ahead on minerals and on gas. Just wait till he actually saturates that fourth. Special does not intend to give him the chance. He goes right at it. That's a completed Nexus. There's no opportunity to cancel. Special doesn't want to attack the Protoss army. He just wants that Nexus. He's gonna get it. Tag! You're it, Protoss. Yes, it is officially a game of base tag. I just can't believe those Vikings are still alive. MaxPax is gonna remake his fourth in the original location. He's having troubles getting it to stay up, and he's mining out at his main. MaxPax is really loading up on disruptors. I think he means to explode his way out of this. Special's discovered MaxPax's stashing pylon. They've been very useful in MaxPax's drop detection throughout this series, but I think Special's caught on to the pattern of where MaxPax likes to hide them. He's not going to let him warp any zealots out of there. Oh, that is a lot of Archons. They'll just kind of drain that shield battery as they just nonchalantly pass by. Yeah, I guess you could heal me if you want to. It's not like I'm asking for it. Oh, Special's Marine Scout finds the fourth base location. And the Vikings are going after the main. Oh, but Blink has been researched. That went badly. Oh, MaxPax must be so happy to have gotten his hands on those MVP Vikings. MaxPax has his fourth base up, but Special knows about it. Big clash, EMPs go off. Here's the disruptor shots. They fall short, but MaxPax can fire them off like a Gatling gun. The bio cannot get near his death ball. Not without those big kablooies anyway. Oh, 2 killer hits for MaxPax. Obviously his focus is on my replay footage. Special absorbs the hits and then goes right at the Archon. He pushes the Protoss back to his shield battery, but a photon overcharge there could make this impossible, as will an emergency warp-in of Zealots. Specials reset the Archon count, but now his Marines are way too orange. One more stim would be suicidal. MaxPax with the blink forward. The Stalker's lasers just knifing into the bio. Unable to run, Special's gonna stand and fight. MaxPax blinks, literally, he blinks his Stalkers back. And that gives Special a chance to flee with the last of his army. MaxPax is spending his glut of gas on adding Templars. He wants to replenish his Archons. Oh, I think both players have officially mined out at their mains. The key to this game may now be that fourth base. Whoever can hold it and deny their opponents could have this game. Special loads up for a drop, but it could be ill-timed. MaxPax is coming in to attack the third. Special has got to unload. He does though have Widow Mines, and MaxPax does not have detection. Oh, I love this. MaxPax grabs the ramp once again. Special drops a scan to neutralize the terrain advantage. This game, this series. Oh, that Widow Mine's coming off a cooldown. Could be bad news for those Stalkers. Special lures MaxPax right into his Widow Mines, but MaxPax takes the punch. It's gonna give him dominion over Terran's third base. Special pulls his SCVs. This could be for the game. Who's got this? Carnage everywhere. The Archons evaporate. The command center lifts off. It's deep in the red. And the Widow Mines just keep firing. The defender's advantage lets Special reinforce. He's gonna hold. This game is not over. Special has lost over 20 workers though. With victories like these, who needs losses? Eager to return the favor on worker losses, Special's loaded a dropship with Widow Mines. He got a big one off in Game 3. He's also got a fifth base now. It's not saturated, but if he can get that going, that would be huge. There is no defense at MaxPax's fourth. Scan drops at MaxPax's fifth. I think that was a distraction. Boom! 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 19 probe kills! I know there was only 3 booms there, but the first 2 mines hit together. And just like that, Special has the worker lead once again. With the power of mules, he is seriously outmining the Protoss. Even though a Zealot run-by is forced to lift off of his fifth. Special loads up his bio. He's gonna hit him again. This kind of multitasking aggression is what Special's best known for. It's round 2 on the Widow Mines. Only 3 probe kills this time, because there's not so many there anymore. And Special's gonna shut down the 5th. I'm starting to believe he could tie this series up. I did not think he was gonna be able to do this. It's a laser light show. He kills that Nexus the exact moment it finishes warping in. MaxPax now has to transfer his probes over to the minefield. That is not an attractive option, especially since Special means to hit that Nexus too. I know the sequel's never as good as the original, but what the heck? Special has stopped following the rules of base tag. He's not taking turns anymore. MaxPax is about to get starved out here. Oh, he's just pulled his probes as meat shields. Me thinks it's time for Protoss Fury. He's switched back to Colossi, and he is gonna chase that bio down, even if he has to go all the way to Special's base. Even if, I think that's exactly what he's hoping for. MaxPax forces the lift off at the 4th. Special's trying to get some Vikings together. If Terran can hold this, Protoss officially has no economy. This might be the last gasp of MaxPax, but what a gasp it is. He's killing everything. The first Colossi falls. The second. MaxPax is still pushing in, but he's got almost nothing left. Special wisely retreats to his ramp. MaxPax is down to his last 6 units. He blinks up the ramp. Special has no units either. MaxPax has stopped building. He's all micro now. Special holds the ramp at his main. He recruits his SCVs to fight. And it's GG! Special ties the series. That's 2 games apiece. We're gonna settle this with a final game 5. That's how we like our best of 5s around here. To the wall. Hey, a little base tag, anyone? Look, I'm not saying this was the key feature of the game, but it was important that Special still found ways to get value out of his Vikings after MaxPax switched from Colossi to Disruptors. The one thought that I had is if this is going to start to become a really important feature of TVP, then Terran players are going to want to look more carefully at the Smart Servos upgrade. That's the one that lets you transform more quickly between modes. It's still comparatively pretty rare in this game. And oh yeah, there are also some pretty devastating Widowmine hits in this game, which help to prove that I do not know how to count. But this just makes me want to get to game 5, so Adjutant if you would please.
Hell yes. The game begins now.
It's the end of the road, people. Pretty awesome road with some pretty cool twists and turns in it. In the top left is the Terran player who they just mail the DreamHack Latin America trophy to every season. It's because he's that special! His opponent in the bottom right is more than just a favorite brand of coffee. He is the undisputed champion of the 2020 Genesis Legends Cup. He is MaxPax! Oh, it's a tight pylon with a close gateway. We haven't seen that yet in this series. Probe Scout went out at the usual time, though. Protoss is ever hopeful they can disrupt that barracks in some way. Special might mix up his builds later in the game, but he never wavers from his opening plans to cover his ramp. And unless they're Rax rushing, very few Terrans do. But I am looking for points of differentiation. What do you do when you're in a do-or-die game? And the loser of this game will be out of the tournament entirely. MaxPax is lost to Rogue, Special is lost to Party. 2 series losses, and you're out of Group A. Once you're out of Group A, you fall into Group It's Time to Go Home and Have Dinner, which is probably not a huge distance these days when everybody's playing out of their bedroom or den. It's been cool and all, and I'm glad they've been able to keep the tournaments humming through COVID, but there's something just sexier about those offline tournaments. Alright, the expansion Nexus is down for Protoss, the command center goes down for Terran. Special has a Marine out, so that probe is being pretty gutsy. Oh, I see. The Marine doesn't want to let him into the main. He is prioritizing his privacy. Cybercore is about to complete. MaxPax has been pretty consistent for the last few games. Chrono Boosted Adept, Warp Gate Research, and a very delayed Stargate. Specials SCV arrives and sees that Adept on the way. He checks the pylon where MaxPax has been stashing his Stargate in the past few games and finds nothing there. Meanwhile, his factory is almost done and so is his reactor. The Adept is out and it's headed for the Terran base. And oh, it's not going to be a Stargate. It's a Twilight Council hidden in the back of his main. Typically, this means a glaive timing. He is going to finish the second Adept. And special with a good old-fashioned reactor switch. He has not been doing this. It's a classic 1-1-1 build. He's sticking on that single Marine. And he's making reactored Hellions. The Marine continues to guard the ramp, which means that SCV is forfeit. That's a first blood. But Special did get the command center to finish. The Adept just has no information as to what Special has going on. 2 Hellions are going to pop though, which is why she has the Shade ready. All she gets to see is if the command center transforms into an orbital. There's just too much firepower in the natural right now. There's the Shade away. MaxPax is hiding a probe at the alternate third base location. Might be just for a future scouting attempt, might be more sinister. And there's the Dark Shrine. Glaive timing, what am I talking about? The Robo's gonna complete as well and we might be seeing a Warp Prism. Oh, a great little pylon block to block out those Hellions. The 3 Adepts combine to kill one of them. And that means there's gonna be no scout for Special. I guess he could use a scan, but there'd be less energy for when the DTs come. Meanwhile, we get to see what Special's been hiding. A Banshee with Cloak Research. Both our players intend to use special tactics in Game 5. I don't think either of them wants another 20-minute game. Special's gonna hide a Widow Mine right in the middle of the map. MaxPax warps in a Stalker to deal with that Hellion. I was gonna say that might be a hint that this isn't a Glaive Rush, but he hasn't even seen the Twilight Council. He's still gotta be considering the possibility of a Stargate, which may be why he's building a Cyclone and a Viking. That Hellion's hoping to lure the Stalker into the Widow Mine. MaxPax's Warp Prism is just gonna narrowly glide out of range. The Banshee's gonna see it though, and vice versa. MaxPax is gonna see the Banshee, if they saw the little flash on their mini-maps. And they probably did. These guys are at a level where they don't miss much. There's the Dark Templar Warp in. One goes to the natural, one goes into the Warp Prism for a special delivery. But the Banshee hits first. Cloak is just completing now. 3 probe kills pre-cloak. Special drops a scan in his main. He gets the first DT. MaxPax almost has an observer ready. The DT at the natural forces the SCV pull. A second scan goes down. Oh, he gets out of range. The Banshee's gonna escape with just 10 health. And the DT is hiding. Oh, a third scan goes down. Only 3 SCV kills, but you gotta be happy about 3 scans. That's a lot less mule energy. Special's gotta be happy with 7 probe kills. Especially if he's not done. MaxPax is gonna try again with another pair of DTs. Special's getting a Raven, it's almost ready. His level of command center energy has to be hurting. The DT makes it to the mineral line and starts killing. The troops are there, and so is the Raven. With the first DT dead, the second one is gonna stay. He's gonna attack the... No, he's gonna bug out. That was just a so there attack on that bunker. The Warp Prism escapes as well, and that's no small thing when you consider there's a Viking out there hunting for it. MaxPax is gonna transition now. He's adding a Robo Bay and the Zealot leg upgrade. Also a single forge. He's gone double for most of this series. Special's adding a second Banshee. And he's halfway done that third command center he's building at his main. MaxPax has a third as well. Although, as they say in Hollywood, it's being built on location. Both players have been bloodied. Neither one is bowed. Where do they go from here? MaxPax is trying to slip an observer in. That might enable him to see the timing on the third base. I don't think it caught the double Banshee. Instead, it's going to see the starport leave the tech lab and start building a reactor. Special's likely looking to add medevacs at this point. Oh, it's an election year for Protoss. 4 more gates! 4 more gates! But maybe he did see the double Banshee because he's adding shield batteries in his mineral lines. Those stalkers really want to pick off that Viking. It's making life hard for MaxPax's Warp Prism. Special's gonna see MaxPax's 4 gates and match him with 4 Raxes. He's also gonna start that all-important stim as his Banshees slip in. With 2 Banshees in tandem, he can one-shot those probes. Doesn't look like the shield battery can do much to change that. He does have an observer back at home though, and with some timely warping of stalkers, he can chase those Banshees out. Is Special gonna get them out? I think he is. No, it's another warp in. If he goes for the one in the red, he can shut it down. Can he get it? It's almost out of range. It is. Oh, MaxPax really wanted that. If for no other reason, that Banshee has 10 kills on it, and some vengeance would be nice. I just threw on the night vision goggles here, just because we haven't used it all series. Really see the unit details with it, but it also comes across as a bit unnatural to me somehow. If anyone has any strong feelings on the night vision goggles, yay or nay, feel free to let me know in the comments. There's certain maps where it really helps. Light Shade, it's pretty optional. MaxPax takes the high ground in the center. He's warping in more DTs, I didn't expect that. Unless they're for Archons. Oh, yes they are. Bad luck for Special that this invasion force went right around his Widow Mine. Archons are so effective. It was recently pointed out to me that now that Snipe is gone, there are no longer any units that get bonus damage against Archons. Nobody gets bonus damage against psionic units. They have the massive trait, but due to some obscure programming, bonus damage against massive units only counts if the unit is an air unit, which the Archon is not. Well, I'm waxing on. MaxPax sees that Special's trying to take his 3rd. He's moving into pounce. Special dropped a scan and saw that MaxPax moved out, so he's ordered his Banshee sortie to go in for another raid. Let's see how this one plays out. Denying a 3rd base on Lightshade is a big deal. Special gets 4 Widow Mines buried. That really softens up the Widow Mine count. The Banshees are gonna hit. They've been repaired. They can dodge that photon cannon and start their one-shot routine. Special's command center has been lifted off. MaxPax is gonna call that a victory and go home before he eats any more Widow Mine hits. Probe kill counts at 6. Oh, a Rallying Colossus will catch that Widow Mine. 1 Banshee goes down. The one that remains is the original one. It has 15 kills on it. The dead one had 7. Now you can see the difference the shield battery makes. Rejuvenating those shields on those probes, giving them a chance to live. Yo! MaxPax gets that hero Banshee. Special's brought out his tank to zone out those Colossi. You can see MaxPax's immediate reaction. He gets extended thermal lance instantly. Oh, it's an Archon dropping the name. How nice. He wants Special to have a nice day. But it's extra nice. He's warping in Zealots behind it. Special stims his bio and comes for the cleanup. And he hits the Warp Prism with Interference Matrix. You almost never see that used on a Warp Prism. Meanwhile, I do believe Special has a drop planned of his own. His bio's gonna slip into the main. The remaining Zealots are still going to town on the production facilities. What will Special's target be? He wants to deny +2 at the Ford. He switches to the Zealots warping in, and then settles on the Robo Bay. He's gonna get it. The upgrade denied sign appears. One of the most picturesque things in all of StarCraft. And believe me, I am a connoisseur of StarCraft beauty. I am one strange cat, I know. Well, the cleanups were ugly for both our players, but they do happen. Special's gonna finish his Ghost Academy. MaxPax is gonna start up a Templar Archive. It's kinda cool that he's been making Archons without it. Special's reacting to the Colossi. He's ramping up his Viking production. Oh, MaxPax finally sent in that leftover DT he had hiding to the south. Special deals with it with a scan. The Viking count is looking robust. Oh, and it's gonna deal with that Warp Prism. It had a Dark Templar inside. Special knows he can't overdo it with the Vikings though. That Disruptor switch is almost inevitable. By now, he's well familiar with how MaxPax likes to play this out. MaxPax is getting a 4th. Special has not restored his 3rd base. That puts a lot of pressure on the Terran. He's down 20 workers and getting significantly out-resourced. He kinda has to look at attacking or double expanding. MaxPax is adding that 2nd Robo. I think he wants to be able to go cray-cray on the Disruptors again. He's actually starting them now in anticipation. He's not waiting for his Colossi to get annihilated first. Special is gonna push out. He needs to do damage. MaxPax understands his position. He's adding shield batteries. A hold is a big win for him here. The Protoss 4th is exposed. MaxPax quickly cancels, denies us the laser light show. Special prioritizes the rocks. He wants access up that ramp. He stims up a few Marines to see if he can shut down those robos. But 4 Colossi on the high ground politely say no. That, or perhaps the presence of Special's tank, is going to remind him he doesn't have the range upgrade for his Colossi. Start that up. Oh, the Disruptors are live. This time it's Disruptors and Colossi. That's a lot to micro, but so deadly if he can do it. M. Canning has shown us it's possible. The shield batteries are done. MaxPax is going to take advantage. Those poor medevacs are working overtime after that entire army was stimmed. The Vikings do have the Colossi pinned in. Disruptors would go a long way to pushing that army back. Special's getting a ton of value out of his tank right now. This is a tough position for both players, but time is in the favor of Protoss. 2 more Disruptors are about to pop out. Can Special get up that ramp? The shield batteries are depleted. EMPs hit MaxPax's front line. They're both going for it. A huge reinforcing warp-in of Zealots for MaxPax. Special gets up the ramp, but can he hold it? No, MaxPax is going to use Disruptor shots to dislodge him. The Colossi are gone, the Vikings have landed. Will they once again be Hero Commander Vikings? Special's going to shut down a robo building a Disruptor. He's cutting into the Protoss production, but it's a timely warp-in of DTs. Special has to pull back. No, he's coming back in again. Right into a Purification Nova. That was huge. His supply dropped by 11 in an instant. He came so close, yet so far. There's the GG. MaxPax wins. MaxPax takes the series. Special is eliminated. MaxPax saves his tournament life. Yes, I like saying MaxPax, but doesn't everyone? Okay, so here's the close-up of that game-sealing Disruptor shot. The DTs chase Special down the ramp until he gets the scan, and then when he comes back up, it's super boom. At that point, there's just not enough left in his army. But if I could be so bold, I actually think the MVP of this game for MaxPax was his Observer. Just like when he won in Game 2, he snuck an Observer into Special's main. That let him know exactly when Special was going to try to expand to his third. MaxPax had his leftover DT spying on the alternate third base location. That way he knew exactly when and where to hit Special. That left Special a base behind and put the pressure all on the Terran. That gives MaxPax the luxury of turtling up more than he normally would. Extra shield batteries, extra Colossi, and he made that one tough take for Special. I watch a lot of Game 5s that are turd muffins. It's understandable. The players are exhausted. Their patience is shot. And I never want to upload a turd muffin. But if it's a Game 5, you kind of have to show it. So I feel like we all got very lucky that this was a very presentable game. A great series all around, and I thank you for staying with us. So from my base to yours, Zugzwang out. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.